Welcome to this week's Bitcoin Stats Show, a weekly video podcast brought to you by the team behind the Bitcoin Stats app, which you can find at bitcoinstats.co.uk. And we'll be filling you in on all the latest news and big headlines in the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And as with every week, there's been lots going on. Once again, there's been a lot of news. And I'm here with Ashley Ford, and I'm Will Francis, our other show host, contestant, co-host, contestant, yeah, on the game show. Yeah, Sam Billingham, he is away.
He's visiting the motherland.
Yeah, he is, and he won't be back next week, but he will be back the following week. And we miss his insight already. Yeah, in the news this week, some interesting stories. Have you heard about the dark wallet alpha? So, something that is definitely happening in the Bitcoin community is there's a certain side of the community that wants to kind of go mainstream, that wants to, play nice with the banks, wants to be part of the world of finance and commerce. But then there's another side that are the sort of anarchic side of it, really, that love the fact that Bitcoin it's decentralized. It goes against everything that's established, fiat currencies, and just the establishment in general. The side of the Bitcoin community that's really concerned with true anonymity and true independence from government control, has set up Dark Wallet, the alpha of Dark Wallet. And
hang on, so it is actually an alpha?
Yeah.
So it's not called Dark Wallet Alpha?
No, it's going to be called Dark Wallet.
Right.
And yeah, it is potentially a tool for anarchy. That, like anything in the world, anything that can be used for bypassing bad government can be used for things like terrorism and paedophilia and God knows what, and buying drugs and all kinds of shit. But there is some strength to their argument about Bitcoin remaining a tool for us, not for governments to take hold of and regulate.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's just going to be very difficult for mainstream, companies, the likes of Walmart and Tesco and all the rest of it to kind of say, oh yeah, we're going to jump on board and we're going to put Bitcoin, allow people to buy stuff with Bitcoin.
Oh, you bought that pint of milk? Cool.
Yeah.
Off you go.
Yeah, so it's it's a difficult one. I'd quite like it just to be mainstream, so that you get more people on board, therefore the price is going to go up, everyone's going to benefit a little bit more from it. I presume.
Yeah, and it's definitely going that way. Bloomberg are now listing Bitcoin prices on their there's like a paid piece of software.
Right. Is it their trading software?
Their trading software, and it tracks Bitcoin prices now, which is kind of a big deal if Bloomberg, because that recognises that serious investors are trading in it or interested in trading, and that'll further help serious investors. They'll see that in their dashboard and they'll think about
putting their money there, or their clients' money there.
Well, yeah, monies. You might notice this week we're drinking, once again, craft beers. It's become quite a popular part of the show.
It is.
And so what are you drinking this week?
I'm drinking Fru.
Fru? Yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
It's quite nice. It's
German. Is it Trappist beer? Is it what?
No, it's a German beer. I couldn't tell you much about it. It's 4.8%.
Wow.
It's the ingredients, obviously, are water, barley, malt, and hops, as you would expect to find in a beer. I can't. We made a point about this, I think, last week.
Yeah.
In that this is really an amateur beer review, because normally in beer reviews you'd pour it out, you'd see what the head was like, you'd see if it's cloudy, blah blah blah. We can't really tell that.
I've got some plastic cups over there. Does that count?
Maybe that could be next week. We could do that.
Yeah, the trophy.
Yeah, but it's quite nice. It smells like a beer.
Smells like a beer, looks like a beer, tastes like a beer, I would hope.
It's not a full-bodied beer. It's quite a light.
Yeah.
It's a very light beer.
Has it got that craft beer taste? Because I know this, you know just from looking at that's going to taste like a real craft beer.
This tastes like it tastes like quite a kind of mainstream beer.
Mass produced.
Very polished. Yeah, mass
like
produced.
a lager almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's not. I wouldn't. It's not one of my favourites. I tell you what, the one I had last week was very good.
What was that?
Couldn't tell you.
You always get the unpronounceable one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why it's the amateur beer review.
I know. Well, I've got one from London Fields Brewery, which is just about a mile from where we're sat. It's been made. And this is the Shoreditch Triangle, where we are. We are in the Shoreditch Triangle. This is the Shoreditch Triangle IPA, India Pale Ale.
That's a very good one, isn't it? I've had that.
It's a lot like a lot of the craft IPAs you get.
Yeah.
It's very similar, but it's got a more clean and polished taste. It's actually not as aggressively craft.
But it's a bit
homemade.
It has a bit of a flavour to it.
Oh no! Absolutely, it's full of flavour. I mean, it's full of flavour, but it's not.
It's kind of citrus and grassy.
Kind
grassy
of,
notes.
yeah. I just find it's pretty drinkable. Again, this is a very amateur review.
You'd have a pretty hard time if it wasn't very drinkable, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's nice. You wouldn't have a lot of problems sinking 3 pints of this, is what I'm trying to say. It's very nice, very palatable, and I'd recommend it. We got these beers from a mixture of Beer Hawk and Desk Beers.
Yeah.
Desk Beers, very good. But also, there's an online company, and they're UK based, they're called Honest Brew. And they'll deliver any kind of craft beers. In fact, they also have their own brewery. And you can pay with Bitcoin. If you're thinking of
buying Bitcoin,
buying Bitcoin, you just send them a load of beer. No, if you think it doesn't work that way. If you send them Bitcoin, they'll send you beers. Seems like a decent trade-off. If you're looking to dump some Bitcoin, the Bitcoin price, of course, is currently stable at $464.40.
Yeah.
I know that. How do I know that? Can we say how we know that?
Yeah, because we mentioned it last week.
We mentioned it on the show. It's in alpha at the moment, but our desktop dashboard for Bitcoin is in production almost.
Yeah, it's coming soon. The end of the week. I mean, it's obviously end of the week tomorrow, but next week, Tuesday, Wednesday is the time when we're looking to.
So we might launch it on next week's show.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah, we could launch it next week. Absolutely.
Do you ever use Yelp to find places to eat and stuff?
I've used it maybe once or twice.
Yeah,
it's not a big thing for me.
It's not as big here as it is in the States, but it is big around the world, and they've started listing businesses. A business can now mark themselves as a business that accepts cryptocurrencies.
That's good.
Yeah, so if you want to find a restaurant that takes Mooncoin, then you will not find one, but
Aurora.
You can have a bloody good go. Yeah, you can dine your way around Iceland on Aurora Coin.
Aurora Coin, they probably do actually accept it in. I don't know. Do they? I think places in Iceland accept Aurora at the moment? I don't know. It's
get your wheelbarrow out because you'll need a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
the price has really plummeted with Aurora.
I know. Anyway.
But although saying that, the price of Bitcoin has gone down. There's a $40 shift in the last couple of weeks. It's really taken a bit of a dive. I think it's because of the China. China's kind of unsettlement in their economic quandary as to whether they're going to accept Bitcoin or not. The government haven't really made their minds up yet, have they? So
no. And when that develops further, I'm sure the price will shift again.
Absolutely.
Now, we mentioned the Vape Lab in ATM Watch last week.
Yeah.
They've got a Coin Trader, which is a brand of ATM, Bitcoin ATM. It goes two ways. You can trade cash and Bitcoin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you can take your Bitcoin out?
Yep.
Wow. I didn't know you could take it out. That's very good.
Yeah. But it's in the Vape Lab, which is a cafe that specialises in the vape hardware and liquids, which is the e-cigarette stuff you've probably seen. And they also do weekly sessions every Tuesday evening. They do weekly sessions about vaping and Bitcoin together and cryptocurrencies. Quite a good mix, really.
Vape and Bitcoin. It's almost like the Bitcoin Stats show with a beer review, isn't it?
Basically, yeah, we should do vape reviews.
We should do, yeah.
That'd be good. Because they have a lot of different, flavors, yeah. I can recommend Gin Addiction if you ever go down. It's really good. It tastes like you're drinking gin, but you also get the nicotine effect.
Go well with a cocktail.
Yeah. Finally, we mentioned a couple of weeks ago that the Doge community had sponsored a NASCAR for this coming weekend's Talladega race.
Yeah.
The NASCAR sprint race. And it's happened, it's out, it's on screen at the moment. That's what the car looks like. It's been sprayed, it's been decaled, it's ready to go. So we'll find out this weekend how it does. It'd be great if it won.
I wonder if it wins. If it wins, do you think the price of Doge will go up?
You know what? It'd be great if there was a place where you could bet with Doge. We should set something up.
It's a bit late.
It's probably a bit late.
I'm sure there is a place.
A betting portal.
Maybe there is a place. I mean, that would be brilliant publicity for Doge, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, so many people are going to watch that race and wonder what the hell is going on when there's cars going round. It's just a big picture of a Shiba Inu dog on it that they might have seen on someone, in memes and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, tune in, check the NASCAR. So that's almost all we've got time for this week.
Yeah.
But first, we want to read out some of the comments you left us on YouTube because they're really good. First up is on last week's show, isn't it? Who is it? Tesco Value Clips.
Yeah. So if you're watching this week, obviously last week you left a comment to say that if the video was half the length, it would be much more appealing. Needs to be faster, in your opinion. But some nice content in there, guys. So that's good to
nice.
hear.
That's some nice content. That's all we wanted to make.
Must have been the beer review.
Yeah.
The amateur beer review. And then the week before we had Solly 2.
Solly.
Saying great work. Also, I like the way you hold that beer.
Yes, thanks. The label texture on this is lovely, by the way. Yeah, just feel that.
Beer. Oh, that beer's
Do you know what I mean? It's like it's a bit rough, but
it's quite good, isn't it? Very abrasive. It's like a 3000 sandpaper, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very good. Cheers, Solly.
Yeah. And then the week before that we had
Taku Walker.
Yeah, Taku Walker. This is great, discussing report over internet.
Well, that is one way of describing what we do.
Yeah. And we particularly like your profile picture. A bucket of Carlsberg. So obviously staying in the Bitcoin beer review spirit.
Indeed.
So yeah, we'll have more of that next week.
We'll read out all the comments.
Yeah, get your comments in, basically.
Yeah.
And if you've got any comments on the Bitcoin Stats app, you can either leave them in the YouTube comments or visit the website to leave feedback. And don't forget to download the Bitcoin Stats app. You can get it at bitcoinstats.co.uk. It's available for iOS and Android.
The URL.
And hopefully next week we'll be talking about the desktop app, which you'll be able to download from the website.
It will blow your minds.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
And you can leave more comments in the YouTube field. But if you have any feedback on the app, visit the website and you can leave some comments there. I think that's about it.
That's all we got time for. Yeah, thanks a lot for joining us. Hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week for more on the Bitcoin Stats Show. Don't forget to subscribe to be always kept up to date with what's happening on the Bitcoin Stats Show. Stay crypto.